News premieres Wednesday, 10/9 Central on CBS.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. All quiet tonight, but a strong system moving in tomorrow could bring high winds and some heavy rain to the region. First Alert meteorologist Evan Hatter gets us started as our First Alert Weather Day coverage continues. Evan.
Keaton, that's right. We are mostly okay for tonight. We've seen just a quiet, calm, cloudy night throughout the region. But as we head into tomorrow, that's when the breezes really start to kick back in, gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour at times, and that's outside of any showers and storms. Especially tomorrow afternoon and evening. That's the focus time, especially tomorrow afternoon, really. We could see some higher gusts in some of the stronger showers, but 40 to 50 miles per hour gusts will be the main calling card. Everybody's under a wind advisory as we head into tomorrow morning. For most of us, this kicks in about 10 o'clock, runs through 7 o'clock, except for our West Virginia counties, Dickinson and Buchanan counties in Virginia, and Lawrence County in Kentucky. It runs until 1 a.m. on Tuesday. Temperatures out there right now, mostly quiet, mostly calm, middle and upper 40s across the Big Sandy and the Kentucky River Valley. Head into the Cumberland Valley and things are a little bit milder, into the low 50s. We're starting to see those temperatures increase as we see that warm front start to push through. We're mostly dry right now, but back on out, you see what's going on to the west. We've got showers across Missouri and even more severe weather across the Plains states. As we head through the next 12 hours or so, we'll see those temperatures slowly get back up into the 60s tomorrow. A brief break in the showers, but we'll watch those move on into the region. For tonight, we'll continue to see those showers increase with lows right around 50. Keaton, I'll have details on when the best timing for some of those storms will be coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Evan. A West Virginia coal miner was killed while on the job Sunday afternoon. William Mapes of Freeburn, Kentucky died Sunday afternoon while working as a contractor for LSM Contracting near the Grapevine South Surface Mine in Mingo County. Mapes was 73 years old and had 53 years of mining experience. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice and First Lady Kathy Justice issued a statement that read in part, "Anytime we lose a brave coal miner, it's a tragedy beyond belief. We should all be eternally grateful to Mr. Mapes for his 53 years as a coal miner, just as we should always be grateful to all coal miners across our state." A man from Buchanan County, missing for nearly 10 days, was found dead Sunday evening. 63-year-old Kenneth Ray Payne was last seen near Hurley, Virginia on February 18th. Officials with the Buchanan County Sheriff's Office identified a body found in a creek in the Lester's Fork area as Payne's. Officials do not expect foul play at this time. Payne's body will be taken to the Virginia office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Roanoke while the investigation into his disappearance and death continues. Last week, a Kentucky family lost everything in a house fire, and with a newborn baby boy expected in the coming days, this family had nothing left from their baby shower to welcome him into the world. That's where the England Hill Fire Department stepped in, hosting a community drive for the family today. People driving in throughout the day, gifting diapers, clothes, first aid equipment, and even nursery furniture. The department says seeing these community donations help the family get back on their feet is heartwarming.
Everything they got from the shower was destroyed. So everybody coming together and helping the family has been awesome. It's a great feeling to know all the support. We've had support from everywhere, from other fire departments to the community to everybody in our fire department. It's just great to see everybody come together and all the help.
The fire department was also taking monetary donations for the family. The Hyman Settlement School hosted a flood relief concert aimed at their mission to gather and grow after the July flood. The McLean Family Band played bluegrass music originating from the Knott County area. It was another step in recovery for their community, and Music Education Director Sarah Kate Morgan says the events are milestones for their recovery as well.
We were fortunate in that mostly of the damage here at the settlement was on our bottom floor, and so we are about, I'd say, 70% back. Everything's cleaned up, and we're rebuilding in a good way.
Proceeds from the concert went to the Knott County Long-Term Disaster Recovery Group. Among the hardest hit genres of fundraisers during the COVID era, many hospital social gatherings were put on hold due to the threat of community spread. But now that the pandemic is under control, those fun events are returning in a big-time way. Tony Cavalier travels to the Big Sandy Valley for a comeback story last enjoyed in 2020.
It was a welcome back from COVID Saturday night in Pikeville. The Medical Center Heartball returning after a 4-year pandemic hiatus. So they came clad in lavish evening gowns and black ties. The WYMT contingent led by Buddy Steve and Mary Ann. This year's Fire and Ice Gala theme caught the furious fancy of patrons.
What's tonight mean to you?
It's a great night of fun, getting to celebrate each other.
So they dined and wined on the taste of the season.
The most popular drink is by far the Old Fashioned.
They also bid on a myriad of entertainment packages in the silent auction.
The night on the town looks good to me.
Cardiophysiologist Chase Reynolds on the medical center's lofty goal.
To build the hospital into the premier heart and vascular center for the Bluegrass.
After 4 years away from the dance floor, the Endless Summer Band made it their mission to turn the night into a dance marathon. A shout out to all Twinkle Toes to kick up their heels and let it all hang out.
And a little bit of flexibility.
And a lot of love. We look at each other when we dance, Tony. We love to dance together. We've always have.
It was the social event of the season in the Big Sandy Valley, all for a great cause. Dancing the night away for the Mountain News Network, Tony Cavalier, WYMT in Pikeville.
Looked like quite a good time. Jealous of Steve there. Tony adds the Winter Gala is among the biggest for the medical center every year. Food advocates are warning of a looming hunger cliff. Starting this week, the government is slashing pandemic-era federal funding for millions across America. Data shows the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP, kept 4.2 million people out of poverty. But this past December, Congress passed a bill ending those extra SNAP benefits, and food banks are rushing to meet an expected increase in demand.
With the prices at supermarkets now and the SNAP benefits reducing, people are just going to need more help.
On March 1st, those emergency COVID-era SNAP payments will end in Kentucky. Families who qualify for government assistance will return to receiving pre-pandemic amounts. The federal government is moving ahead with plans to dispose of some of the hazardous waste from that train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. The Norfolk Southern train derailed more than 3 weeks ago. The Environmental Protection Agency says a shipment of contaminated liquid and solid waste will head to 2 EPA facilities in Ohio on Monday. Norfolk Southern is helping with the cleanup. EPA's regional administrator says federal, state, and local governments will closely monitor the operation to make sure the waste is safely removed. Right now, more than 100,000 gallons of liquid waste and 5 truckloads of soil need removal. Russia's war in Ukraine is days into its second year. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is vowing to battle on to defend his country against the invasion, while U.S. officials are warning China against sending military aid to bolster the Kremlin's uphill battle. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides has more.
Now more than a year into Russia's brutal invasion, supporters of Ukraine rallied in cities across the U.S. this weekend. Ukraine's southern port city of Odessa honored soldiers killed in the grinding war with Russia. Ukrainian military drone footage shows what are said to be Russian tanks and other armored fighting vehicles being blown up by mines.
I think Putin is right now entirely too confident of his ability to wear down Ukraine, to grind away, and that's what he's giving every evidence that he's determined to do right now.
Meanwhile, Washington is growing increasingly concerned that China could decide to send lethal military aid to Russia.
We will continue to send a strong message that we believe that sending military aid to Russia at this time, when they are using their weapons to bombard cities, kill civilians, and commit atrocities, would be a bad mistake, and China should want no part of it.
Last week, the U.S. announced billions of dollars in additional military assistance to Ukraine. But some lawmakers are urging the Biden administration to provide Ukraine with F-16 fighter jets.
This whole thing is taking too long. And it really didn't have to happen this way.
Following his unannounced visit to Kyiv last week, President Biden said in a television interview that sending F-16s is off the table for now, but he didn't rule that out for later. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
G20 finance ministers from the world's largest economies reportedly failed to agree on a statement at the end of the summit in India after China declined to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Coming up at 11, unusual winter weather in California closes major freeways and causes major flooding.
Plus, continuing to watch the potential for gusty winds and even some brief heavy rain as we head into tomorrow. Those details next.
New roads and go anywhere this year in a new Chevy from Thornhill GM Superstore. It's Sydney, and we're heating things up this winter with 4